And we're back with some more Factorio. Today, though, we're getting straight into utility science. I got distracted yesterday, or in the last episode, and spent too much time doing the side projects. So this time, we're going to get utility science knocked out. The only thing we're missing, everything else on the bus, the only thing we're missing here is low density structures. And I looked it up, and we need about 20 of these. 20 of them being produced. So we are going to give it its entire own section right here. This is a long one. There's 26 of them. Yeah. You need at least 20 to support science at these types of science at 45 science per minute. Well, we're using some productivity and speed boosters, but, you know, base, it would take 20 of these. That's a lot. I did not realize how many of these you would need. They really have changed the recipe since I was last here. Anyway, we will hook up the plastic, we will hook up the steel, and we will hook up the copper. Simple enough system. They'll get dumped in here. Copper gets dumped in the other side at some point. And then it produces the modular low-density structures. Low-density structures get kicked out here to the right, and they flow down this yellow undergrounder belt system. So the copper goes one way, the low-density structures come out the other direction. And boom, we now have low-density structures onto our transport. Well, we haven't quite put it on the bus yet, but it will get added. Right now, we're just going to shunt it across into this section, which is the assembly machines level 2 that will be making the utility science packs. We're going to need 7 of these. Ta-da! 7 utility science packs ready to go. All we need to do is hook up the last item, which is blue circuits. Blue circuits come in here, they go on one side of the belt. And they get dumped into this system. And there we go. We'll soon have our first 3 utility science packs. It produces 3 at a time, but crafting time 21 seconds. There's a lot of resources that go into these. Wow, a lot of resources. Anyway, once that's finished, it's going to spit it out to the right. There we go, full bar completed. What's the percentage on that? You know what? I can't tell. But they all go down this direction, and then they get slid across here, and they go onto this red transport belt. This red transport belt goes all the way down here. Wait for it. And then it hangs left, and it keeps going. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it, and there. There's the transport belt that goes to our science labs. That should allow us to start on utility science packs. Thankfully. Now, there is a few pieces we want to grab. The first thing I want to get my hands on is the portable fusion reactor. This allows us to get some nice equipment for our armor, and that will allow us to run a lot faster. None of this 5 frames per second walking around the place. I did a bit of fiddling with the belts. I had the science on the wrong side, but nope, that's fixed. All of our science is now flowing smoothly. We're researching portable fusion reactors, and our power draw is touching 70 megawatts. Wow. Okay, I am glad we tripled our coal power supplies. That's a lot of power draw. Probably to do with all those silly modules I've thrown in there. Well, they're not silly, but they're useful for us, but they are quite a power hog. For example, here, this one here is a crafting speed of plus 15% because of the speed module. It should have plus 30, but it's being slowed down by the productivity one, which is giving it plus 6. All in all, we should be producing quite a decent amount of science. With the new fusion reactor, though, that means we can go grab ourselves, well, a fusion reactor and start putting some of the nicer things into our suit. Our suit with that has a solid power supply, can use 24/7. At the bottom of the production facility for blue circuits, I've got this little chest, and it's set to store a full line of blue circuits for us. The reason for that is you need them for some of the armor equipment we're going to be producing. So I've already grabbed a couple of these out. In fact, you know, let's grab a couple more. I need the same little storage at the bottom of flying robot frames and low density structures. Both of them are very handy, and now we can craft ourselves immediately a portable fusion reactor. Actually, I think we'll craft ourselves 2 of those. Yeah, 2 portable fusion reactors, thanks you kindly. We'll cram those into our suit, and now we can get some exoskeletons. Oh, I'm going to need a bunch more stuff. One moment. Oh, I just realized FX transmission is the wrong one. Never mind, we don't have that science yet. What we're looking for is Personal Roboport Mark II. We want to turn ourselves into a better engineer. So we're going to grab the ones that allow us to do the construction a lot simpler. We can research the final level of Power Armor Mark II. I believe it's the final level. Yeah, that's going to really improve our inventory size and movement speed. And yep, let's just skip along. After an awful lot of work, we've managed to get our hands on the Power Armor Mark II. Well, we made up the efficiency modules over here. We changed up our production modules into efficiency ones. You needed 25 level 2 efficiency modules to make this armor, but dear lord, it's worth it. We're going to stick this thing on. It's got a massive inventory space. This is the inventory size space of our old one, but we're going to be able to cram 2 portable fusion reactors into this new one and a bit extra. So this is the old armor. Now let's stick on the new power armor. Take a look at our inventory. We've only got like a slot and a half left. This one gives us an extra slot. As well as that, it's got this inventory grid to work with. Oh, hell yes. Now we'll just take all of this out of here, and we'll transfer it over to our new armor. With our old armor and our old setup, this was our normal speed. This was how quickly we could run around the place. It feels pretty slow. However, once we put on our new armor is slightly improved. We have 5 exoskeletons in there, and this is what our running speed is like now. Hell yeah. I'm pretty sure we could outrun the tank at this. Nice. Now the only thing we're missing is a few level 2 roboports. We've got the personal roboports, but we want personal roboports Mark II. They've got more range, they can support more robots, they're just generally all around better. So we're going to craft a whole bunch of those. A couple more minor changes, and I think this is the grid I'm going to stick with. We have, well, 6 exoskeletons to increase movement speed, which makes us absolutely insanely zippy. At the same time, we've installed 3 personal roboports Mark II, meaning we can support 75 construction robots simultaneously. Night vision goggles, of course, personal battery Mark II, belt immunity so that we can stand on the transport belt without pushing about the place. And what was the final thing? Oh yes, and a solar panel, because we had 1 tile left and I couldn't think of anything else to put in it. This will be our builder armor. It's not for killing stuff, it's just for going around building stuff in your base. And let's get to work. First up, we will be doing purple science, or what's it called? Production science. Okay, straight into production science. I feel like I should sort of apologize for this before I even start firing it up. This is how much resources we're dumping into this. Yeah, I probably should have broken this up into 2 sections, but you know how it is. You start doing something and then you figure some sort of belt-foo way around something and then you just can't help it. Alright, this iron plate comes in here. It gets fed into these 2 iron rod producers. These 2 iron rod producers throw the iron rods on here and they go along this belt. Then there is stone coming along with these iron rods, and that goes in there. Now, the iron rods and the stone get chucked into these rail production facilities. There's 3 of them. Oh, I forgot to put in the productivity and speed modules, didn't I? Turns out I'm running low on those. It's probably a good thing too. It's our power grid at the moment is looking a little unhealthy. Jesus Christ. Power grid will be the next thing we're going to take care of. But let's get this science started. Steel, that was the next one. We'll bring in the steel here. Steel gets chucked across here and into the rails. And there we go. We've got the rails going out on the other side. And that's one component that we need for the science. The science requires rails, electric furnaces, and productivity modules. So that gives us one component. That component goes down here, gets chucked across these rails, and then goes through a bunch of undergrounders and eventually ends up going through here. And out on this side of the belt. There's a big hole here. We'll come back to that one in a minute. Next, let's hook up green circuits. So, green circuits go through here. Actually, you know what? We don't need green circuits. Bricks. That was the one. So, bricks come through here, hop through under here, still keep going under here, and then they sort of pop out here at the end and feed into these 2. And then we get ourselves some electric furnaces, which is the second component we need to build science packs. So, all of those get chucked out, where is it? Onto this yellow belt here. Well, a yellow undergrounder. And then they sort of slide across here and keep going on down this section. Now, is this set up? Yep. So, that way they all get filtered out and sent down here. Alright. Now, the last one is the productivity modules. This, yeah. Okay, so the green circuits, they take this route, and then just at the very end here, they slide out sideways. And they slide out sideways out onto this belt, which is carrying the furnaces that we just discussed. If you're lost, it's fine. I got lost more than a few times building this one. But then when they get to here, they get filtered off. So the green circuits only travel this far, and then these productivity modules here, they get chucked out onto the opposite side, go through an underground belt to get sent across here, so they can go out parallel to the furnaces. So now we have the furnaces on one side, we have the productivity modules on the other side, and then we have the rails on this side, all being fed into these science machines. And then the science gets kicked off across to the right. And, oh, damn it. I've messed this up, haven't I? Oops, here we go. You can see the science slides in on this, and then it gets selectively sent across. Okay, that was not good. That was really difficult to manage. I was trying to find some way to belt through all of these so the rails ended up on the left side and those 2 ended that way without leaving that gap in the middle. I could not figure a way around it. If you want, you could try figuring it out yourself, but yeah, this felt really good. Look at how Look at the way the resources are flowing in. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 different resources flowing in here, and somehow we managed to spaghetti junction them through and still managed to spit out the science the other end. I'm pretty happy with that. Not gonna lie. Pretty happy indeed. Let's check the production values for the last minute and find our new science. Purple science is coming in at a cool 48. Well, we're probably going to wait until we get a good 10-minute average before we call it, though. Purple science has evened out about 38. There was actually an awful lot that went on in the background to make sure it stayed that high. The reason being is red circuits, of course. Red circuits are that line across the top. But let's go back for the last hour and you'll notice I've been spending a little bit of time working on red circuits. We were averaging about 218 red circuits per minute. Then I invested just a little chunk of time over here expanding it onwards. And by a little chunk of time, I mean I researched blue belt just so that we could get an undergrounder to pass under these. We needed the science to get through somehow. And then we extended this sucker on a long, long way. Also, we made sure we get productivity modules, some speed modules and all that. We're stripping it out all the way along. That thing is just monstrous. But we're getting almost a half belt of red. Not quite, but we're getting pretty close. And with that, we seem to be just about getting a handle on the purple science over here. Just about. We're getting just about enough red through. And at the same time, we're still producing some speed modules over here. Because why stop? We need the speed modules to help a few things along. Also, on the side, this was producing efficiency modules. Reason being, more to do with the pollution and our energy consumption at the moment. Dear Lord, that pollution cloud is going to start hitting these biters soon, and that means... well, back into the tank. But we'll improve the tank before we go. First up, where was it? Yes. Here's our mining section, and you'll notice a bunch of them have been fitted out with efficiency modules. And this is for pollution rather than power's sake, though the power is a nice bonus. These ones here I really should only have about 2 in here if you're taking maximum efficiency. That'll give you a 60% reduction. The last one only gives you another 20% as opposed to 30. But putting 2 in each one of them is far more awkward than just putting 3 in all of them. So you'll notice this one here has no modules in it at all, and its pollution is 10. This one here, which has all the modules, its pollution is 2. So we've managed to reduce the pollution coming out of this by 80%, which is excellent, because our pollution from this entire area, combined with our local power plant over there, where is it? Yeah, this power plant over here, has basically made us a big cloud of pollution that's going to keep spreading for a very, very long time. That's not going to come to an equilibrium. That's just going to keep going. So I will probably have to go over there sooner rather than later and clearing out those biters. But I think that's pretty good. We've managed to get most of the earlier sciences down, and we've got most of the good stuff out. But I think it's time to get into power production now. I'm kind of torn between going mass solar straight away or just doing a quick stop at nuclear. I mean, I think nuclear might be the option, but then we have to invest an awful lot of power in nuclear to get it up and running. Let me think about this for a minute. Our steel here is starting to run a bit low, and this leads us to, well, one of the things you start doing in Factorio. Our red circuits are a bit low, so we beefed them up. Still not enough. Our steel is running a bit low, so we made a few minor changes. By minor changes, we mean SpaghettiOs. I just wanted enough steel to get us over a hump. Effectively, I want to get some more expansion in, so I kind of want to get my hands on a bit of steel, knock out some more science, and just generally get the weapons necessary to clean out more space for our pollution cloud. I could build walls, but no, I am not building walls. That's just a waste of time. I prefer to spend my time either killing biters or making factory. That's it. So this is just, we siphon off some iron plate from here, and we sort of tack it onto the end of our existing steel furnace setup. Why? Well, why not? It sort of fits there, it goes right onto the line, and yeah. It will do for now. There will definitely be replacements required. It's just we don't have enough iron really coming in. We're already draining this patch rather rapidly. We're going to need to get into trains soon. No, we're going to get into nuclear first, then we're going to get into trains. This is what our wonderful pollution cloud looks like. And I take a very proactive approach at clearing it out so that the biters don't ever cause many problems. Right now we've hopped into the tank and I've been doing a little bit of filthy handcrafting on the side. And what we've crafted in this time is this piece of armor and all of the equipment that's in it. Namely 3 fusion reactors and a buttload of personal laser defense, a couple of energy shields, night vision, and a personal roboport. This thing is just for driving around in the tank. The thing is, those lasers built into your personal armor, they work from inside the tank. So you can just go near things in the tank and they get shot by the lasers. Oh, and the tank still works, so it's not like you're not using the tank as well. You can fire high explosive shells from your tank while circle strafing them and riddling them full of shells. It's kind of really fun. Oops, accidentally hit a tree. Every so often you keep hitting trees with the tank shells, it makes a huge mess. Also, we've managed to get most of the upgrades for the lasers and the projectiles, which means we sort of just vaporize everything we point at and click. And done. Anyone else want a piece? Come on, guys. Get a bit closer, get a bit closer. There you go. And then the moment you've stopped, or, well, the moment you've taken care of whatever the problem is, you activate your robot port, let your construction robot repair you, and then once they're finished with the repairs, you turn it off again, and then on to the next base. It just makes clearing out biters so much faster. I think I'll do a little bit more preemptive clearing along here to make sure we don't run into any problems in the next, couple of build projects. After some more biter clearing, we have a nice healthy expansion area where our pollution cloud can go into without causing us any more hassle. So it's time we took care of the next problems. For a while there I forgot about researching, my bad, so the factory is powered down just a little bit. It's starting to spin up again though as we research some more. However, our power was hitting almost 100 megawatts there at times, so it's time to get into more power generation. And there's two choices when it comes to power. You've got nuclear or solar. That's it. They're the two main sources you've got. Nuclear is usually classified as the more early game option, and then solar is classified as the late game. The reason being, nuclear is smaller, more compact, easier to set up, but it does require a bunch of resources, and at the same time, well, okay, that's bad phrasing. It requires a pretty decent initial investment to get up and running, but you do get an awful lot of power out of it. And you still have to keep feeding it for long periods of time, though eventually once you do get the refinement process down, you effectively have infinite power. The main problem is it takes up a lot of processing power on really large bases, and since that's at a premium, solar is just more efficient that way. Though solar takes an enormous investment of resources to get up and running. However, we have done all the research on nuclear that we need. We've got, where is it? We've got enrichment, all sorts of stuff. We're going to tap into this patch and we're going to start refining it down to make ourselves some uranium. To do this right, we want to scrape out every piece of uranium as quickly as we can. So we have just put down we have crammed just as many miners as we can on top of this little node. One of the things to note about uranium mining is it gives you a different miner. The reason being it requires sulfuric acid. That sulfuric acid is necessary, otherwise you can't mine. What we've done over here is we have taken the sulfuric acid off our main bus. Oh god, I'll turn off the pollution over there. You see this dotted line? This is going all the way back onto our main bus and pulling sulfuric acid from somewhere over... I want to say over here. Ah, there it is. Yeah, we made a big batch of sulfuric acid plant over here. With all of that pumped in, all we have to do is hook that up, which will require one pipe here. Boom. Sulfuric acid starts to flow. And now it should start going into all the miners. Yeah, there we go. Why are you not moving? You're supposed to be moving over there. Oh, slowly but surely, it's all going in. They don't need an awful lot of it. As far as I'm aware, it's actually quite a small amount, but there we go. We've got our uranium flowing. Well, this is the raw stuff. We need to actually do some centrifuges, get some centrifuges down, and they will allow us to refine it down into something a little bit more usable. We're taking 7 belts and we're condensing them down into 3. We're going to see how this works out. Now the next step is we need to put down a whole bunch, and I mean a whole bunch of centrifuges to turn those into useful uranium products. The downside of that is it takes a while to build them. I queued this up just before I started building all the mines, and we have 22 of them. That's not going to be nearly enough for the plans we have. Why is this taking so long? I accidentally severed the water in one of my many pipe runs, but it's all back up and running now. In fact, I think I'll go along and get some more speed modules. We've got access to level 3 speed modules now, so we can take the level 3 speed modules we've been producing. I didn't say we were producing them very quickly. We only have one of these speed module producers up and running, and that one is produced, how many? 31 speed modules? You know what? That's more than enough for our needs, at least for what we're going to start with. How's our power looking? Oh. Yep, we're maxed. We literally are maxing out the power. Alright, once atomic bombs are done, we're cutting research. In fact, we may just... Can we stop research now? Oh yeah, you can cancel it and go back to it for a second there. Yeah, we'll cancel the research. We'll let the power spin down a bit. Namely because I want to have a maximum resource production of these. A few minor upgrades where we upgraded them to level 3 assemblers for the concrete, the concrete. And then we threw in 4 level 3 speed modules in each one of them. And now we're pretty much flat out on our concrete production, though I think, yeah, we can't actually get that across fast enough, can we? Ah, damn it, there's always something. You know what, this is fine. We've got 31 of them, we can at least start our uranium refinement now. And here will be our uranium refinement. I think it grabs up 10 or is it 20 of these? God, it's been so long since I've played. It grabs 10 uranium ore and it spits out 1 uranium 235. Or, no, 1 uranium 238 and sometimes occasionally a 235. It all is going to get dumped down here. This is the base version of uranium, but you very, very rarely get the shiny stuff. And the shiny stuff is very valuable, but we need a lot of it. So you have to refine a whole bunch of just junk uranium first, and then eventually you'll start getting the good stuff. And once you have some of the good stuff, you can start using that to make even more of the good stuff. First, we need somewhere to dump this all. Oh, wow, we already have some of the shiny. I thought the rates were quite low, but we've already got 3 pieces right there. You can see the little shiny pieces. All right. In that case, let's get straight into refinement then. How many more of these am I going to need? I'm going to need a lot of centrifuges. Hold on, I'm going to go grab some more. While I have been doing up the centrifuges and working on them in the background, we've had this case here just slowly collecting all the uranium that comes out. This is the shiny stuff, 235. So 238 is the stuff that's non-fissile, 235 is the stuff that you can turn into nuclear fuel, atomic bombs, that kind of stuff. It's the good stuff. It's the stuff you want a lot of. But there is a process of turning this stuff in, or this weaker stuff into this good stuff using centrifuges. So we're going to put in a bit of a refinement section. Yeah, I think somewhere over here will be good. Just a little one to get us started. This is for refinement of Corvax enrichment. Now, we've left in beacons and stuff so that we can scale this up a little bit better later by putting in speed beacons and productivity modules and all that. But in the meantime, let's start this flowing, though we don't have any of the good stuff to get it started. Where is it? Yeah, we need 40 of that stuff to get us started. And where is... Damn it, I was pretty sure there was a piece of it there and it just vanished. Never mind, I'll find it. Let's start by firing this up. First thing we've got to do is we've got to get 40 uranium. It takes 40235 to get this started. But then we're also going to need a bunch of this uranium 238 to go with it. Recipe calls for 40 uranium 235, 5 uranium 238, and then it spits out an extra 235 uranium. So you get 41 of the shiny stuff and 2 of the dull stuff back. So you lose 3 of the stuff you don't care about and you get 1 of the ones you do. It's very slow though. 60 seconds. Long time. So we're going to speed boost the bejesus out of this. Just to make sure that this gets started up. Because what we want to do is activate this so that it starts spitting out more. And then, oh. Yeah, just have a look at that there. That's not confusing at all. When it finishes, unfortunately, it spits out all of the ingredients you've put in. So the 40 good stuff, well, the 41 good stuff and the 2 bad stuff all get spit out. And what happens is this inserter sticks them out, and this stack inserter just behind it catches the stuff coming out and dumps it straight back in. Though I have put in a second one. I sort of nicked this design off my old base and modified it a bit. So you need 2 just in case, because occasionally this will glitch out and miss, or it used to 2 years ago. I don't know if it does it anymore. And there you go, you can see, some of them tried to escape by. They didn't make it though, that second one there caught it. And round and round and round it goes. But we do need to bring in this stuff, so 1 second. We will activate that. You see here we have a, what do you call these, a filtered inserter. Its job is to pick out any of the good stuff, just for now. The reason we're filtering that out now is we want that stuff getting dumped into our system so we can use it to, well, boost this faster and faster. Right now all of this is dumping the lower grade stuff down here, which gets pulled into this machine so it can keep activating and keep pumping us out more of that delicious 235. Now, give me a few minutes. I'm going to put in a few speed beacons and really boost this. Alright, so that's the progress bar there. That's what the progress bar looks like when we just have a couple of speed 3 modules in it. However, if we take these speed 3 modules and we beacon this sucker up all the way, that's what its bar looks like now. Yes, much better. Much, much better. All that's happened is these the effect of these beacons is applied to all of the devices around it, and in this case we have put 8 beacons in range. You can see the radius of effect there. That is jacked up the speed massively. Of course, this is a massive power drain. If you look at it there, its max power consumption has gone up by 700%, which is why I have shut down all research. As you can see, we're drawing just ludicrous amounts of power out of this. What we're going to do is run this for a bit until we've got a few of these up and running. Actually, I should probably point out, you don't need this much of them to get yourself enough uranium to run a nuclear power plant. You could get by without even running any of these at all if you're willing to mine enough uranium and just stockpile the dull stuff for quite some time. So long as you don't go overboard, of course. But, ooh, no, we'll take that. Oh, damn it. Yeah, I've been doing this wrong. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I had them fighting over it and then rotating around. What we're doing here is we're just dumping all the old stuff back onto the line so it has use. That's just going to saturate the whole system all the way back up, and we will be running this through our base because it has use. Even this dull stuff has use. It has use as in ammo production, so we'll definitely be using some of that. But for the time being, I'm going to micromanage this a bit. The reason being, this can collect up to double its necessary recipe, so this can hold up to 80, I believe, shiny uranium. What we really want to do is wait until there's about 40 spare uranium in here, and then instead of leaving it in here doing nothing, we'll toss it onto the next one so we can double our production. Once we've got a few of them up and running, though, the system it's very, very simple. I didn't really overcomplicate this when I was first making them. All you do is the uranium gets spits out here. Once this is overfilled, as in there's more than 40 uranium in it, or 40 shiny, or 80 shiny I should say, the rest of it will flow down here as overflow and go into the next machine, and this next machine will start collecting it. And once it hits 80, it overflows onto the next, and it keeps overflowing down the line. Now once it's overflowed the whole way, it'll go down here and pop all the way down here, and oh sorry, we need to put filters on that, I forgot. But any of the shiny stuff that makes it past will get sent down here, and it'll run past this machine. If this is even a little bit low, it'll top it up. Then it runs past this machine and starts filling up this line, and then it starts filling up this line, and then this line, and slowly but surely all 4 rows will start up. Is it super efficient? No, but it does mean you can go off and do other stuff, and when you come back it should be done. Now, excuse me while I put a couple of filters on. As you can see, the system's starting to tick away. I've replaced the speed beacons in here with productivity modules. They were patched out for a while because they caused a bug. Let's not get into it. But currently it's all beaconed, moduled up, and we've got 3 of them running though. Yeah, there's some excess in here we can maybe cream off just a little bit. And now we can take this one here and we can fill that one up as well. So take all that out and go to the next one. And soon we're going to have one that's, well, we're going to have all of these up and running in short order, and it's really going to expand our uranium supply. In the meantime though, we're going to get this uranium flowing. We're going to connect this up here. That's going to go down to help us with our ammo production. We can combine this with some of our explosive tank shells to make uranium enhanced explosive tank shells. They're really good. This uranium supply is going to be long term very important. We're going to need this for our nuclear fuel as well, for all our trains we're about to get into. I've never went straight to nuclear fuel trains before, but I think we're probably just going to go that direction because we're close enough as it is. But first up we'll do a power plant, but before that let's just have a quick trace of this line here. This is going to act as a nice buffer for all of this silly amounts of dull uranium we're producing. If we just follow this line all the way down, it goes onto our main bus down here. Oh, come on, hurry up, and there we go, we're onto the bottom of the main bus. So it runs along down here. We'll put a line of shiny uranium later. This all goes up here, feeds all the way along, and it's going to go into the production of these things. They are high explosive shells from tanks, combined with just a scooch of uranium-238, and what you get is explosive uranium cannon shells, which, yes, beautiful, just all of those. The difference between a regular explosive shell, let's just say the area of effect goes up by only a tiny bit, about 0.25 at a base of 4, and the explosion damage increase is actually pretty minuscule. Like the actual base damage, as in the damage is 180 plus 369, or 396, about 580 points of damage. But once you upgrade it to explosive, you get about, well, over 1,000. You get about 1,100 points of base damage or physical damage. This thing just shreds anything it touches. And as well as that, all it costs you is some of that, well, the dull uranium we don't care about, the 238. So yeah, we're more than happy to dump as much of it as we want into this ammo because it's a direct upgrade and costs us nothing but the dull stuff we're trying to get rid of anyway. We're just going to take every single piece of explosive ammo we have and we're going to turn it into super duper ammo. And we're going to chuck that into our tank and maybe have a quick kill spree before we leave. The biggest danger with this type of ammo is friendly fire, as it bounces off a tree or... oh god. Yeah, it just basically shreds anything it touches. And assuming you've been keeping up with the upgrades, it just... oh, Christ. Its rate of fire is just absolutely ludicrous. Who's left alive? You die. You die. Anyone else? Oh, I forgot to turn off the construction robots. Oops. They'll be fine, they'll be fine. And that is uranium ammo. Excuse me while I have a little bit more fun. I think we're going to cut it out here for today. The next plan, though, is going to be immediately to throw in a nuclear reactor. We need to get our power production way up. It's too low, and it's kind of holding us back from using lots of the really nice stuff. That nice stuff being, of course, the... sorry, one second. Oh, no, trees, out of the trees. The nice stuff being beacons and modules and all that. Those things, we're kind of very low on power right now, and I would prefer to get our power sorted with nuclear, and once we do, we can pretty much just go ham on whatever we want. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to spend the rest of my time here just maybe expending some of this uranium ammo for fun. And, oh, no, I hope you enjoyed and good luck.